Hi, and welcome back to Pages and Projects with Liz. Today, since it's about halfway through the year, I am going to go through and check in on my yearly reading goals, all from my book bingo. So I thought it would be a good point to see which ones I have already accomplished, see which ones I still need to work on, and kind of how far away I am from meeting some of those goals. So for each of these, I'm going to go through the full column. So first I'll go through all of the ones that I had down for B and so on, and I'll mention where I'm at with each of those goals. So for column B, the first one was to read 10 books from my physical TBR, and I have completed that challenge. Next up, I had to read 30 days in a row. That one took me a little bit because there were several streaks that I lost right near the end, but I have completed it and I did read 30 days in a row. The next one is to make 5 food items from books. I had intended on doing this also as part of the reading challenge I did last month. I haven't done any for this. And it's actually kind of sad in a way that 2 of the challenges that had to deal with doing something a little bit more fun and creative are ones that I haven't fulfilled. It's not that I haven't been cooking or haven't been doing crafts. I just haven't had a chance to do the kind of tie-in that I wanted. So I certainly need to get on that since I still have to do all 5. I haven't completed any from that category by the end of the year. Next up, I had read 6 classics. For that, I have completed 2 classics out of the 6 total. So not terrible, but also I want to get moving on that more. I didn't find a great fit for classics with the reading challenge that I did this month, where I really wanted to focus on my Fairy Loot and Owl Crate books. And then the one before where I did the Goober's Culinary Kitchen. So I think that will be really easy to read another 4. I have several to choose from. It's just a matter of going through and doing that in the upcoming months. And then finally, I had to complete 2 reading challenges. That one is also finished. So I have completely done the Goober's Culinary Challenge. I'm in the last couple days of the Tarot Readathon, and I'm all set with that. I also have finished the buzzword, the cover challenge one, I think, and it might be the word one that I still have one left, or the opposite direction. So I will be more than all set for that category. Next, for column I have to read a book for each season in that season. I have completed 2 out of the 4 seasons. So that one will be really easy to finish off. I'm trying to do the Agatha Christie short story collections in the season. So this next month in July, I'll read through the summer one, and then I'll have the autumn one once that comes up. Next is to read 3 books for work or learning purposes. I have done that. That one was easy. Next is to read 10 Kindle TBR books. For that, I have read 7. So I need to get on that and get a couple more of the books that I already have on my Kindle read. Next is to read 3 books in similar settings to the book, and that I have also not done any for. Certainly a missed opportunity with that. I had intended for some of the things where I did have trips planned, like I went to Cape Cod, to bring something that was beachy to read, and I just completely forgot when I was packing up the books to bring that I wanted to do something in that setting, and I read, but nothing that was beach related. So that is one that I certainly need to go through and focus on for this next half of the year. And the last one for I is to read 50% of my book subscription packs. Right now, I'm at 62%. So I've got 26 books that have come in. I've read 16 of those, so roughly 62%. But that's one that I can't fully tick off until the end of the year because it's all going to come down to how my end of year numbers are. So next is column N. The first one is to read 5 book club books. That's another one that I have been struggling with, and I only have one. There were some book clubs that I wanted to participate in, but they were reading books in months after I had already read that book, and so I didn't want to count something that I had read in a previous month, even though it did eventually become one of the book club books, because I didn't reread it in that month. So I only have one. That's another one that, again, I need to focus in on for the second half of the year. Next is to read 5 backlist book subscription packs. That one is all set. Was all set before I even got to the reading challenge this month. And then this has just helped a lot with that. So I'm glad I've been reading through those. I still want to get caught up more. It would be great to be fully caught up with those and also hit the 50% goal. I'm not sure how likely that is, but again, something to evaluate and something I still want to keep focusing on even if I've already met that goal. Next was to read 52 books, and that I have also read. I am currently at 95 books read for the year. I can't believe I've read so many books in the first half of this year. I think doing some of these reading challenges has really helped with that. I'm fairly competitive, and so even though it's just earning points for myself and nothing really happens if I don't meet one of these, I still wanted to earn points for my team or get a good level for the cooking one. Or make sure I got all of the books for the buzzword or the cover challenge. So certainly been helpful. So that one is already taken care of. Next was to read 5 books over 400 pages. That one is all set. And the final one for N was to finish a book in one day, and that is also complete. Next up for G, I have read 12 nonfiction books. That I am halfway through the goal, so I've read 6 so far. So not terrible. Next is to read 5 different genres. That one was easy. I think I had that one done the first month. Next was to finish or catch up on 3 series. That's also one that I believe I had done the first month. I have finished completely 8 series. I've caught up on at least 3. And then there are 6 that I read the first book and I do not intend on continuing on in that. So another one where I've hit my numbers for it, but I want to continue making progress on that. I have a lot of series that are unfinished, and also that like some of them will help off with some of these other categories, like the Kindle TBR books. I have some series on Kindle. So again, finish that one, something that I plan on continuing working on this year. Next was to read 5 graphic novels. That one is also all set. That one, again, I believe I completed in the first month, and as part of that, some of those were for a series. And then finally, I have read 5 audiobooks, and I have completed that too. And then for my final column, O, the first one was to complete 5 book-related crafts. That I have not done. So again, mentioned before, I need to really get on some of the more creative ones. Those have just been a little bit harder to be intentional about. Next is to read 12 Kindle Unlimited books. That I have only read 4 so far. That's one where if I had the physical version of the book, even if it was available on Kindle Unlimited and I read it that way, I didn't count it. So this is 4 books that were only on Kindle Unlimited. I found that quite a few of my book subscription box books have been Kindle Unlimited books also, and for some of them I read it on Kindle Unlimited because that was easier for travel or reading by a pool or what have you. But for this goal, I was trying to pick books that I didn't have in any other format. So again, not terrible, not halfway through it, but not too far off that I don't think it's doable to complete by the end of the year. Next was to do a blind pick for 5 books. So that was a spinner wheel or a poll or the tarot cards. And that is something that I have completed. It's been kind of fun, and I think I'll do that a little bit more throughout this year. Next was to read 5 library books. There again, easy enough to have completed that one. And then the final one was to read 5 books under 300 pages, and that again I have completed. So not terrible shape. Out of the 25 squares, I have finished 15 of them and I have 10 left. So I'm over halfway through getting all of the squares done by the end of the year. I think as long as I focus in on some of these, it is very doable to finish the other ones by the end of the year. I'm not sure if I want to do a bingo board next year, but it's been kind of nice to work on the goals in this way. If you've had reading goals set for this year, I'd love to know where you're at progress-wise. Have you nailed all of them already? Are you halfway through? Are there any that you're thinking about reevaluating? There's certainly some of mine that I'm struggling a little bit more with than others, and it makes me kind of question that sort of reading. So like the Kindle Unlimited, is it worth actually having that subscription? Some of the book subscription box packs, some have been really easy to read to get over that halfway mark, and some I keep putting off. So what does that say about that subscription? So again, I'd love to know where you're at for progress in your goals. Thanks, and I will see you in my next video.